Hello EFD squad and welcome back to Scout Report. Today we're looking at how Juventus can party like it's 1996, triumphing in the Champions League without surrendering domestic dominance. You're welcome, Massimiliano. 5. Getting the best out of Ronaldo. So far, Ronaldo has managed to battle Father Time pretty stoically. After completing his €100 million move to Turin, the club's medical department revealed his body fat and muscle mass were similar to that of a 20-year-old, not someone who turns 34 in February. And this isn't just Agnelli propaganda. His top speed at the World Cup was recorded at 21.1 miles per hour, the quickest at the tournament, a strong indication that the horsepower remains as long as the engine is regularly serviced. So, how do Juventus maintain their medical marvel? Last season, Ronaldo played fewer minutes than ever before in La Liga, as their manager Zinedine Zidane sought to save his star player for the latter stages of the Champions League. With CR7 bagging 15 goals in 13 games, it no doubt helped convince Juve to part with such a princely sum. However, Zidane was only really competing on one front come the midpoint of the season, a scenario unlikely to present itself to Juventus. And with Higuain gone, Ronaldo is the old lady's only remaining elite forward, while Benzema, Bale and Morata were all able deputies in Madrid. This lack of depth has already been exposed at the start of the season. Juventus have scraped through their opening fixtures, edging 3 of their first 5 games by a 1-goal margin, with Ronaldo scoring 1 and assisting 3. In fact, the number 7 is taking as many shots inside the box than the next 4 most productive players combined. Remove that volume and the team once again becomes overly reliant on Dybala, who overperformed by 8 expected goals last campaign from his total of 22, suggesting he's still not a certified 20-plus goal getter. This, coupled with the solid start made by Napoli, may delay any prolonged rest for Ronaldo, at least until Allegri finds more balance across his front line. In this regard, 32-year-old Mandzukic will be key. The Croat will shield Ronaldo from the bruising, hyper-tactical Serie A defenders, although he's only started more than 28 league games once in his entire career, which could prove problematic come the end of the season should he also inherit Ronaldo's off-the-ball work. The only other out-and-out forward at the club is Moise Kean, who scored 4 in 12 on loan at Verona last season, so it would likely be a case of reshuffling the pack every time Ronaldo drops out, relying on wide players to come good, a dangerous place to be in the latter stages of competitions. This means that the winter window could be crucial. Juventus won't need to spend big, but wisely, picking up a reliable goal scorer so Ronnie can sit back with a mocker and watch his teammates successfully unpick the Piccolo sides in Serie A. 4. Dropping Sami Khedira. In his prime, Sami Khedira was a powerful midfielder, capable of surging runs and quick recoveries with a thunderous shot to boot. However, recurrent injuries have robbed him of these qualities, and despite successfully adding goals from deep to his repertoire, he's no longer the same box-to-box force. During the 3 seasons where he started 10-plus games for Real Madrid, the barrel-chested German averaged over 3 tackles and interceptions per match, peaking on 4 in 2010-11, expertly protecting the likes of Xabi Alonso and Mesut Ozil. At Juventus, this number has never exceeded 2.1, bottoming out on 1.3 last season as his mobility waned. However, as noted prior, he's become much more decisive in the final third. In 17-18, he scored 9 league goals, easily topping the 6 he notched up during his 5-year stay in Madrid. That haul was also 4 more than Mandzukic in 400 fewer minutes, and if he can repeat this feat, he'll still be of great use to Allegri. Granted, he's fit. Unfortunately, that's always a massive issue. He was only available for 60% of Juve's games in 17-18 owing to back and knee issues, and has already suffered a muscle injury at the start of 18-19 that's expected to sideline him for a month. These small niggles may explain why he's becoming a more peripheral figure in build-up play too, only contributing to 36 passes per 90 last campaign, the lowest of his Juve career. While still an extremely useful squad player, he remains less mobile than Emre Can, provides less attacking impetus than Pjanic, and offers only half as many defensive actions as Matuidi, all compounded by the fact he's only completed a 30-plus game season once. Taking all this into consideration, Juve might be better off blooding the prodigious young Bentancur, which brings us nicely to our next section. 3. Keep the youth happy. 13 of Juve's 24-man squad are 28 or over, And at the time of recording, no one under the age of 25 has completed more than 300 minutes out of a possible 450. This could fast become a source of frustration for the young talent in Turin, starting with Rodrigo Bentancur. It's hard to determine if Bentancur is the long-term answer to Sami Khedira, as minutes have been hard to come by for the young Uruguayan. In fact, he only completed 568 minutes in 17-18, with 15 of his 20 appearances coming from the bench. Bought for £9.5 million, the 21-year-old was averaging 4.6 tackles and interceptions per 90 at Boca Juniors, while still creating one chance per game. So there are signs of him being as well-rounded as early Khedira. He also averaged 46 passes per 90 during his stint at La Bombonera, the same as the burly German at the height of his fitness in 16-17. However, the jury is still firmly out. Bentancur's impact has been minimal, and those who fail to impress early under Allegri often find it difficult to earn his trust. See Marco Piazza. And while his creative numbers have looked promising this season in limited minutes, he was the first to be sacrificed when Juve were wrestling against bottom side Frosinone at the start of the season. Another struggling for minutes at the start of this campaign is Daniele Rugani, who was the subject of heavy interest from Chelsea during the summer. The 24-year-old Empoli product has only managed 44 starts in 3 seasons in Turin, marginally more than he managed in his breakout campaign in 14-15. The return of Leonardo Bonucci, who's made 4 starts this campaign to Rugani's 1 at the time of recording, coupled with the cutthroat exit of Mattia Caldara, someone of a similar age and profile, must have the Italian on red alert. However, the 24-year-old doesn't complete as many tackles as Chiellini, can't distribute like Bonucci, and doesn't have the anticipation of a Barzagli. So he'll need to show more this season after conservative numbers last campaign. However, if he's content with being rotated for the time being at the very least, he may just play a vital role at some point owing to Juve's ageing backline. One player who appears to have forced his way into Allegri's plans at the start of this campaign is ex-Fiorentina starlet Federico Bernardeschi. Having only made 7 starts last season, the wide man is benefiting from Allegri's switch to a 4-3-3, playing on the right 4 times at the time of recording, making more starts than Paulo Dybala. His direct play injects energy and guile to a front line that can become static, racking up 2 goals and 1.8 key passes a match so far. The 3 shots he takes per game are second to only Ronaldo, and his 1.8 from inside the penalty area, more than double his best return at Fiorentina, suggest his play is maturing. For now, the youngsters will have to accept an element of rotation when it comes to the forward line, something that won't sit well with last year's top goal scorer Paulo Dybala. And on that note, let's move on to the Argentinian. 2. Does Dybala fit into this team? At the start of 1819, Italian newspapers were coining the term Dybaldo, predicting a beautiful partnership with Dybala at 10 and Ronaldo as a more traditional number 9. However, since Juve's move to a 4-3-3 in recent weeks, the Argentine has been overshadowed by Bernardeschi in that wide right position, with the pacey Italian edging him on shots, dribbles and chances created. Effectively, Dybala's now competing for a position that's better suited to other skill sets, and that's reflected at the start he's made in the domestic campaign. Despite still taking a relatively healthy 1.3 shots inside the box, similar numbers to last season, Dybala has only registered 1 goal in his first 370 minutes of play, apart from when he scored against Bologna last night after I'd wrote this script. A far cry from the 17-18 productivity, where he's contributing to a goal every 87.5 minutes. Seemingly, he's missing the industry of Gonzalo Higuain, who he shared 14 goal involvements with in just 90 games. The stocky number 9 was selfless in his approach, dropping deep, pulling defenders out of position, creating space, as well as laying on 3 chances for his teammates per 90 during his last year at Juventus, something that Dybala cashed in on expertly. Since Pepita's exit, the number 10's overall shot numbers have dropped from 3 to 2.3 per 90, with the emphasis now creating high-quality chances for Ronaldo. Is there a place for Dybala in this new-look Juve side? Ronaldo is now the main source of goals, he can't support as effectively as Mandzukic, and he isn't as quick or direct as Bernardeschi. He still has elite qualities, but are they key to Allegri's bid for that elusive Champions League, which will clearly take precedent in forming how he sets up in the league? His output in Europe has been modest, with the most prolific season coming in 16-17 when he scored 4 in 11. By the time Juventus' fabled number 10 Del Piero was Dybala's age, he'd had a 10-goal season in the UCL. Now, that is a hard stick to beat the Argentine with, but these are the sort of heights that the Juve faithful expect him to reach. However, Dybala's creative numbers in the UCL do tend to spike, an indication he's probably utilised differently in the competition, dropping deeper, stitching attacks together as Juventus deploy a more conservative approach. With Ronaldo, this tack will more than likely change, with the emphasis on the wide men to create as many opportunities for him as possible. Whatever the solution, Dybala will still be an important asset in the league and enables Allegri to fall back on tried and tested systems should something happen to Ronaldo. However, the temptation to future-proof his midfield with the feed Dybala would generate may be hard to resist. 1. Re-sign Paul Pogba. Maurizio Zamparini, chairman of Palermo, has said that he believes his old charge Dybala will indeed leave for La Liga or England. So what could Juve do hypothetically with this windfall of cash to improve the side? One fascinating scenario is re-signing once-away Manchester United midfielder Paul Pogba. The Frenchman's very public spats with Jose Mourinho and his defensive philosophy show no signs of subsiding, and neither does Pogba's monstrous productivity in midfield. The 25-year-old has contributed to 6 goals in his first 7 appearances for Manchester United this term, taking more shots than Lukaku and creating as many chances for his teammates as Rashford, Mata and Lingard combined. With Khedira's inevitable physical decline and Blaise Matuidi approaching 32, Pogba's varied skill set would enable Allegri to offset a lot of upcoming issues. And it's not just in the final third where he's hyper-productive. The World Cup winner is also completing a ridiculous 8.2 long balls per match in the Premier League, the only man in the top 10 who's not a goalkeeper. Mental. Becoming Manchester United's controller at the base of midfield, admittedly out of necessity more than choice. This would alleviate some of the creative and physical burden on the 28-year-old Miralem Pjanic too, the hub of the Juve midfield for the past 2 seasons, who's only played over 30 league games twice in his career. In 2015-16, Pogba had his most productive season to date, registering 8 goals and 12 assists while in Italy, despite both Pirlo and Vidal leaving the club that year. At first, Juve struggled, finding themselves as low as 12th in October before taking 73 points from the next available 75. The driving force in this resurgence, Paul Pogba, the only midfielder to make over 30 appearances that season. United's number 6 would be returning as a more well-rounded player with something to prove, a frightening prospect for the rest of Italy and Europe combined. And who knows, maybe he's the final piece of the puzzle when it comes to Juve finally matching Barca and Real in the modern era. So that was 5 ways that Juventus could dominate Europe, but what do you guys think and what club would you like to see us do next? Let us know in the comments below, and as ever, don't forget to like and subscribe guys. Catch you later.